Hey guys, I'm Grunt and welcome to the 7th episode of Learning the Maps. Today we'll be taking a look at Consulate, which got a minuscule buff in Grimsky. As always, timestamps are in the description. Let's get started. We'll start outside with spawns and exterior cameras. The first spawn is the right spawn in the southeast. You'll be greeted by a long road, and off to the right you'll find some ways to approach the east side of the building. There isn't too much use for the road unless you're trying to get some long angles through the windows or the main door. There's a hole in the wall that'll take you to the east side of the front courtyard, which can take us to the front door, up to balcony or to the service and admin windows. It's pretty common for people to hold this angle under the front door into lobby and bathroom, but there's a drone hole into the basement which you can be shot through if you're unlucky enough to be standing in the wrong spot. It's very rare, but just keep an eye out for it. Moving east takes us to the visa door and the admin windows. And circling back around will take us back to spawn. Next up is the police line in the southwest. This time you'll find yourself at the other end of the long road, which can take you to the front gate. A new addition to Consulate is this hole in the wall. It's an easy way to avoid the spawn peaks from piano, though there is a new runout that might get you coming up from garage. Speaking of garage, heading north takes you to the garage ramp. Even when the site isn't downstairs, this is a great way for attackers to get into the building. It also has the first exterior camera. Just be careful when you're a bit further up the ramp, as a defender can easily pick you off from the console windows up there. This little balcony area thingy has had some railings removed to make it easier, I guess, for attackers to move around, though it's still safer than running through the garage ramp. Coming back to the front courtyard, we can get into piano, waiting, up to the balcony, and lobby. And the courtyard also has the final exterior camera for Consulate. And going through the front gate will take you back to the road, and then back to spawn. The third spawn is the gas station in the northwest. You'll be greeted by a lovely little pathway with the back courtyard off to your left and a burning gas station on your right. Continuing south takes us to the other side of the garage ramp. And it'll also take us to the door into yellow stairs. The back courtyard doesn't really serve any combat purposes. Unless you're close to the building, you might get a run out or two, but the back doesn't really see anything. Though a nice little trick you can do as an attacker is to take out the camera in spiral from the courtyard. Just look up through this window, and goodbye camera. Our final spawn is the side entrance spawn in the northeast. This one doesn't have too much going for it. It takes us to the other side of the back courtyard and to the visa window, which is a nice alternative to the Fuze door. And it'll also take us to the admin windows and Fuze door like the riot spawn. And there's a nice little side pathway you can use at the start of the round. Now let's head inside to the basement. But first, as always, in the top left you'll see the in-game name for a room, another name underneath it in round brackets, callouts for that room in square brackets, and more specific callouts in curly brackets. We're going to start outside garage on the garage ramp. Garage is one of the more popular sites. It houses both a secure site and a bomb site that it shares with Cafe. It has the first interior camera, and takes us into Cafe, which has the bomb that it shares with Garage and is vital to have control of for defending Garage itself. Moving into service, it connects the basement hallway, service stairs, and blue. There's also a little side area which gives you that angle to the front door through the drone hole. Moving into blue now, a very popular way to attack downstairs objectives, one of which is archives. It houses all three sites now, including the new bomb site that it shares with tellers above. Up on the server platform, you'll find a grate which can be used to hold blue if you lose control of it. And there's also a wall into blue. It should be noted that the roof of archives and blue is breakable, so you could hold Visa from underneath if you wanted to. There's also a little side room where you might see some mirror placements looking out into the hallway. Moving through the hallway into storage, nothing overly special about it, except that it has a large wall leading back into archives. Moving south in the hallway takes us back to the service stairs and cafeteria. And heading north takes us to the second inside camera for Consulate. It also takes us to the lower section of Spiral, which takes us up to the middle of the first floor, which we'll come back to later. Moving through the last part of the hallway takes us into security. Again, a very common spot to find a mirror or two, especially on the garage wall with a coordinated team. And the hallway obviously takes us back to garage, which has an annoying radio and takes us onto the yellow stairs, which takes us up to the first floor. The middle of yellow can take us into the west hallway, further upstairs, or into piano, which houses a bomb that it shares with lobby, and is home to probably the most common spawn peak on the map. I forgot to mention that the floor in piano is breakable, which is especially useful to get mutes and bandits off the garage wall if you need to. Anywho, the front hallway also has a breakable floor, useful for attacking the back corner of garage. It takes us into bathroom, which is basically the central hub for a piano lobby defense. It also has the first hatch for Consulate. This takes us into garage, just in front of the camera. The front hallway also takes us to lobby, which has the third interior camera. The second hatch in the little side room, this one will take you into service hallway. And inside the circle desk, the third hatch as well. This one takes you into cafeteria. Moving north takes us to the middle of Spiral, which can take you back downstairs, or into the west hallway, which looks out over the back courtyard, and has two walls into bathroom. This one is particularly useful for getting an angle into the back corner of garage once you open the hatch. It also takes us back to yellow. Spiral can also take us over to the Visa hallway, which has the fifth hatch. This one takes you into the archive side room. Tellers houses a Fuze target and a new bomb that it shares with archives below. It's also pretty useful for controlling Visa, which takes us to the middle of the service stairs, which also has a window overlooking part of the front courtyard. Visa houses a secure site, and the fifth hatch, this one takes you into the blue hallway. Visa is also a good way to attack admin above, as the roof is breakable. Visa has the fourth inside camera, as well as the sixth hatch. This one takes you into the back corner of archives, and the Visa floor is also breakable, as is the teller's floor. Moving over to service, we'll head upstairs to the second floor. At the top of the service stairs, you can get into admin entrance, which is directly above tellers, and obviously leads into admin, which houses a secure site and a bullet bag. It's got a window overlooking the front courtyard. If you open the floor in this corner, you can easily pick people off as they enter the Visa door. Just make sure you don't get droned, or they'll probably avoid that door like the plague. You can also open up this wall into service stairs, though this removes the ability to utilize the south side of admin, so just reinforce it. Admin also has the seventh hatch. This one will take you into Visa. The back of admin is pretty useful for holding admin entrance, as long as there's no one on the windows. And in the north corner, there's a desk which you can hide under if you need a place to rethink your life choices as the attackers swarm admin. Admin also takes us into printing, which is above Visa hallway, and takes us into the break room, which has walls leading into admin entrance and admin. Now if you get up on the bench, you can actually sprint and vault up onto the fridge. From here you could hold admin entrance or hold printing. And the floor in here is not breakable. Moving into the hallway, it takes us back to admin entrance. And there's a long wall which goes into meeting room behind the long desk. The hallway also takes us to the top half of Spiral, which has the fifth interior camera, a little trick you can do is to vault up onto the railing. It can be a little bit of a pain. Its only real purpose is to look out to the gas station spawn, so do with this as you will. Moving over to the console side of hallway, we can get into waiting, which takes us straight into meeting room. It has the 8th hatch. This one takes you down into the lobby. It also houses a bomb site that it shares with console office, and the floor is breakable. It also takes us back to service stairs and out onto the balcony, which is a very common run-out location. The floor in waiting is also breakable. Moving over to the 2nd floor bathroom. Another window overlooking the back courtyard. And it's above the west hallway. The hallway also has the final camera for Consulate. And it takes us into console, which houses a sacrifice and the bomb that it shares with meeting room, and a breakable floor above piano. It also has the windows overlooking the garage ramp, and off to the side we have the last hatch for Consulate. This one takes us into piano. And these walls will take us to the top half of the yellow stairs, which has another window overlooking the back courtyard. And we'll be going up to the roof from the yellow skylight. So the roof doesn't have any major uses apart from the skylights. Now, you used to be able to get up onto the yellow skylight, open up the console wall, and drop right into console without taking lethal damage. But you can't do that anymore. Or at least the 5 times I tried, it wouldn't work anymore. Other than that, the yellow skylight is useful for controlling the top half of yellow and the side area of console if you can get the wall open. Other than that, the only major use for the roof is the spiral skylight, which you can use to cut off some of the hallway and some of spiral. You could also use the roof to get from one side of the map to the other side safely, if you don't want to run around the outside. There's also some vents you can use to get up on this wall, which we can then use to get down to the balcony. Now let's go over objectives, starting with bomb sites. The first pair is in console and meeting. The second pair is in the lobby and piano. The new pair is in archives and tellers. And the last pair is in cafeteria and garage. Moving on to secure sites. The first one is in admin. The second one is in Archives. The third one's in Visa. And the last one is in Garage. Last and most certainly least, Hostages. The first one is in Console. The second Fuze target is in Admin. The third bullet bag is in Tellers. And the final sacrifice is reading Fuze's file in Archives. So that's about it for the video. After this there'll be a compilation of peeks, runouts and useful rotations. You'll see the attacker's view first, followed by the defender's. Before I go though, make sure you vote on which map you want to see next, and if this guide did help you, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And with that out of the way, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.